Guys, summertime is here. You know what time it is. Tomato season is getting ready to start. So, in this video, man, I'm getting ready to show you guys how to grow the perfect tomatoes. But before that, did you guys know that tomatoes used to be known to be poisonous? Yeah, these little beautiful fruits right here. It wasn't until the 1800s their popularity started spreading around the world and people started eating these things. But before that, they were known to be poisonous because, I'm gonna tell you why, because they came from the nightshade family that are known to be poisonous. So this is why people used to think that these beautiful tomatoes, delicious tomatoes, were poisonous. But anyways, guys, in this video, I'm getting ready to show you guys how to grow some perfect tomatoes. And I mean perfect, healthy, vibrant tomatoes, okay? I know a lot of you guys know that tomatoes, we have over hundreds of varieties of different tomatoes. It's fun to grow tomatoes. It's, like my mom usually say, listen, everything tastes better with a little bit of tomatoes, okay? Everything tastes better with a little bit of tomatoes. That's what I have to say. If she said it, I said it, because I know tomatoes are a very delicious thing and they are fun to grow, especially different varieties. You have all types of different tomatoes, guys, that you could grow in your own garden. As long as you could grow it once, that's all you have to do. Once you grow it once, you could always grow it again, because you could have seeds. They produce seeds. That's another beautiful thing about nature. They're always producing more than you need. So guys, since that being said, let's learn how to grow some good tomatoes and take it to the next level. You understand? Yeah. Let's go. Did you know in 1893 we had a great debate about tomatoes in the United States Supreme Court, if they were a fruit or a vegetable? Yes, the court ruled it as a vegetable because of tariff purposes. But scientifically, tomatoes are known to be a fruit. First thing first to growing some perfect tomatoes, guys, is the soil. All right, the soil has a lot to do to growing some healthy, vibrant tomatoes. And I mean, I can't stress that enough. To be honest with you, tomatoes normally like a 6.0 to 6.8 pH level of soil. And when we talk about the pH level, we're talking about if it's acidic soil or if it's alkaline. When we talk about tomato plants normally like 6.0, like I said earlier, and also slightly in acidic soil. Not so much alkaline, not so much acidic. So it's best to put them in a soil that's actually close to being acidic, if that makes sense. All right, guys? You start with the soil. Yes. Number 2 on the list is planting these tomatoes in the perfect sunlight area, because tomatoes like 6 to 8 hours of sunlight a day. All right, since that being said, guys, don't forget, wherever you pick to plant your tomatoes at, you want to make sure that they get a good amount of sunlight throughout the day. Okay, 6 to 8 hours of sunlight, that should be good enough. Guys, the third thing to growing the perfect tomato plant is to watch out for pests. Okay, growing tomatoes, you can come across pests. The question is, how do you control pests in your garden? Well, I'll tell you how. First, you want to add some companionship to your garden, some companion plants. These companion plants, like onions, are very helpful when it comes to pests being in your garden. Some people like to spray for pests. Some people like to do other things. But me, I like to add some onions to the garden bed, and that will help with pests. As you can see, I plant a lot of onions around my plants. It helps with diseases, so forth, so on, especially tomato plants. Growing tomatoes is not as easy as you think. There is so much into it to get the perfect looking, vibrant tomatoes. And I'm talking about, guys, you know, these things that I've been mentioning to you guys that you've been watching in this video. You want to sit here and think about these things. As far as the soil goes, as far as companionship plants goes, it's very important when it comes to growing tomatoes. All right, because these onions protect the tomatoes from getting plant diseases, so forth, so on. All right, so another thing that you have to look out for when you're growing tomatoes is when you're watering your plant, you know, you want to make sure that it's best to water these plants in the morning, especially if you're the type of person that's rushing to go to work. If you're rushing and you normally spray your leaves and normally spray the plants however you want, well, let me tell you something, that also creates plant diseases. So guys, remember, it's best to water your plants in the morning, whether at night, because at night the leaves doesn't have enough time to dry up. So that's how you get plant diseases. When you water your plants at nighttime and it doesn't have enough time to dry, and that's how you get these plant diseases, and that's very bad for the plants, and you start having dying plants and the plants not looking vibrant, so forth, so on. You understand? So remember, it's best to water your plants in the morning, okay? And the plants strive even better when you do that. Since that being said, guys, let's get to the next thing. The next thing is baking soda. Baking soda plays a major important role in growing tomatoes. Adding baking soda to your tomato plants, guys, is absolutely the secret to growing some beautiful, vibrant tomatoes. Okay? Look at them. Beautiful. Very sweet. Real sweet cherry tomatoes. I can't wait for these to turn red. Don't believe me? Go watch my last video about how to apply baking soda into your garden. When I tell you, baking soda helps sweeten up your plants. You know what it does, guys? It helps with fighting pests. Literally, pests does not like baking soda. All right, so you want to add a little bit of baking soda to your tomato plants to keep the pests away, believe it or not. And you don't believe me? Go watch the last video I made about baking soda, how to add baking soda to your garden. And guys, that video hit about 35,000 views plus. So go watch it and learn some stuff about this baking soda. But it is the ultimate secret of how to grow the perfect tomatoes. Okay? Hope you guys learned something from this video. Hope you guys learned a lot, because this information I'm giving you guys is absolutely facts. You know, baking soda is a natural, this is a natural way to go. Baking soda. This is how you get that sweetness. Okay? Just like that. This is how you get that sweetness, guys. Just like that. See that? Real simple. That's how you get that little sweetness. No bitter tomatoes. Just that simple. Just to recap on everything, all right? We spoke about the soil. We spoke about the companionship. We spoke about the baking soda. We spoke about the pests. We spoke about a lot of things, all right? Since that being said, guys, I also want to talk about things to avoid doing when planting these tomato plants. They say you're not allowed to plant tomatoes around. We have broccoli, you see, and we have the tomatoes next to it. It's no problem. Here we have cabbages. We have tomato next to it. No problem. Here we have potatoes that's ready to be harvested. I already have some that's ready to be harvested. You see? Next to the tomatoes. So here, guys, this theory is something to think about. Or is it because I'm growing in pots? Look at how beautiful this tomato plant is thriving. Look at how beautiful this tomato plant is thriving. Unbelievable. But they say they don't do well next to each other. Something to think about. What you called the brassica family, okay? I don't know if I'm saying it right, but that family you want to avoid planting tomatoes next to, because they could cause each other to, react differently. So since that being said, guys, as you can see around me, I have broccolis, I have potatoes, I have cabbages, I have all that around that tomato. Only reason I think I'm allowed to do that is because these plants are not planted in the same soil. You see, they planted in individual pots. So I think that kind of, pushed me away from all that. So since that being said, if you are planting in the same soil around the same area, I think you cannot do that. I'm not sure. Again, from what my experience, as you can see, guys, I'm gonna show you here, everything is striving around each other. It's a fact. It's no joke. It's no lie. Everything is striving around each other. So I don't know about the theory. I don't know. Can you guys leave it in the comment? Let me know. Is it because I'm growing them in pots, they are able to strive together? Or is that theory just bullcrap? Something to think about. This is why I tell you guys, experience growing. It is fun to experience. It is fun to get to know yourself. Get to know for yourself. Yes. I know I miss talking about a lot of things, but you could do a lot of research on these plants and see the best way you could go about it. But I hope this video been very helpful for your gardening experience. Thank you for watching. And last but not least, guys, you get to pick off your own tree. Very sweet. It's different when you grow your own. Hit the thumb button and don't forget to subscribe. Much love. God bless.